Hello, all you lovely computer people out there, and welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market, where today we're looking at these specimens here. Now, I know they're not very large, and that has to do with the fact that they were grown from seed, and when you grow things from seed, they take all the time they need. Some are fast, some are slow. Some become fast, some slow the heck down. Looking at you, Rosemary. But anyway, this particular plant's scientific name is Satureja hortensis, or Summer Savory. It is in the Lamiaceae family, which is the mint family, and the name Satureja comes from Pliny the Elder, who named it, and he supposedly derived the name from the word satyr. Supposedly, a satyr named Satureja was a specialist in growing the plant or something like that. You know, when you get into Greek and Roman mythology, and it just gets weird real quick. Don't look up Priapus. Just don't. What? Huh? Oh, yeah, hortensis. Right, hortensis. That's where we were. Hortensis is pertaining to or raised in a garden, also horticulture in general. Interesting. So, this plant is native to southeastern Europe and Asia, specifically. Its USDA zones in America are 2 through 11, and it is classified as an annual, but it may resow itself. That is, drop seed and the seed comes up next year. Especially in zone 8B, where we are in North Carolina, that is very possible. It prefers full sun. Its height can get to 1.5 feet, which is pretty good. And its width can be 1 to 3 feet, making it extra thick for gardener's pleasure. Now, other names for this plant include the boring plain old savory, because, you know, and then Cimbrew, which sounds like it ought to be a coffee brand, like ground coffee. Cimbrew coffee. Now it puts the extra thick in your cup. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing the hell out of that. I don't even know what language that's from, but whatever. The flavor itself is similar to Winter Savory, which is Satureja montana. Though despite that name, Winter Savory's specific epithet, Montana, has nothing to do with the state. It is a non-native. It's also from the same area, in Europe and or Asia. And it is known to be slightly more bitter. Though, honestly, in the specimen that was in the test garden that I did a video for, which I will link in the description, I honestly, in flavor tests, did not find it to be bitter at all. But that one is actually perennial, and this one is an annual. It's sort of like the two chamomiles, Roman versus German chamomile. One is perennial, one isn't, and the cost is flavor. In theory, kind of, sort of, on paper, maybe. We're not sure. Honestly, I don't notice the difference. But anyway, I'm sure somebody who probably snorts wine thinks so. About that, the flavor itself is generally peppery and has a good aroma once the leaves are bruised or chopped up. You'll start to smell it then. And savory is one of those things they use a lot of in those salt-free seasoning blends for people with high blood pressure, because it adds kick without the sodium. So, sodium, won't you? Sorry, Mystery Science Theater reference. Couldn't help it. Anyway, the leaves are best harvested before the plant blooms, because the flower, all the sugars and good stuff go into the flowers, and then the leaves kind of taste off. And this is the same with a lot of plants. In fact, I wanted to say it was the year before last, I had a marjoram plant, and it was noted that you do not want to let it bloom because the leaves will go off flavor if it does. So this is not rare or unusual. Same with collards, kale, cabbage. You let them go to bloom, the leaves may become bitter. So just keep that in mind. You can deadhead to stop this. And actually, deadheading the flower buds yields another different flavorful spice. So there is that. Now, this plant is best propagated by cuttings or seeds. I did seeds because I didn't have cuttings, obviously, because as far as I know, nobody's selling Summer Savory, so North Carolina is mine. The leaves themselves, actually, as it turns out, can be used to make a flavorful medicinal tea. I've not tried this because this is the first year of me growing this, but we will find out and I'll let you know. It can't be any worse than that time I ate a reishi mushroom and found out it tastes like dirt and charcoal. Blech. Now, in terms of companion planting, because I when I can find credible information about this, I like to include that. This plant is a companion to beans and onions where it repels their pests. Apparently, its aroma or some root exudate keeps the creeping crud off your plants, which is always a win for you, the gardener. So there is that. Now, that is all I have for Summer Savory because, again, I've never grown it before. I have information about its cousin, lots of information, growing information about its cousin. We'll see how this turns out. I will say that the seed was a little bit finicky, and only as we started getting regular 70-degree days did the plants actually start to shoot up. And for a while, I wasn't sure what they were, but now it's very obvious, even though they do kind of look. The one in the square pot does kind of look like baby snapdragons, and I know they're not because I didn't grow any of those. So there is that. So I will do an update on this plant and show you what it looks like when it's fully grown, the specimens that I put out in the garden, and we'll come back to this. So if you have any thoughts about Summer Savory, where you use it in your cooking, what you use it for, please leave those comments in the comments section. The blog is, as always, updating. We're doing redos on old weeds that I need to come back to and cover again. And that's all I have for you. So as always, folks, keep them growing. Thanks for watching.